Biggest lesson you learned in building this business, or mistake, and then some of the big wins or realizations?
I definitely think that any entrepreneur who goes through a journey has some things that they are really proud of that they never get to talk about, and they also have some failures. Every entrepreneur of any scale has some crazy failures. So for me, that first ebook and getting called a sellout was mortifying. It was the worst thing I could do that could have happened to me, because like I had been writing for free for years, and to get called a sellout it felt like a betrayal from my readers. But what also happened was I looked at the numbers. Again, not just going with your feelings, but looking at the numbers. And there were lots of people quietly buying. And I started to realize there's something going on here. There's these loud commenters saying everything should be free. I could find this on YouTube, etc. And there's other people quietly buying, and their open rates are higher. They're asking for the next program, etc. So I think in life you need to be very careful who you take advice from. That was what I learned. When you start off and you ask people, it's like if somebody starts a diet and you go, hey, I'm thinking of starting a diet, what should I do? Don't ever ask that question, because a bunch of crackpots are gonna come out of the woodwork. Don't eat fruit after noon, but keto and intermittent fasting. It's like, dude, why am I taking advice from you? Why? That's a great question to ask. If someone is telling you you need to buy a house and they're in $800,000 of debt, why would I take advice from you? So you want to be very careful. You want to ask people who had a great college experience, should I go to college? Also ask people who had a poor college experience. Integrate that information. For an entrepreneur, you want to always listen to the people around you, but especially your paying customers. So I spend a lot more time asking them, what would you like for me to write more about? What should I create? Oh, you have a challenge, let's get on the phone. Tell me about it. I can't promise I'm gonna create something, but I'd love to at least hear what's on your mind. And so that is key. Be careful who you take advice from. I think in terms of failures, lots of large financial failures. So one was we spent $2 million on Facebook ads and it didn't work. We basically flushed it down the toilet. And I wrote up a huge post about this because I wanted to share with people the idea that everyone was out there, especially a few years ago, saying Facebook ads are where it's at. Buy my Facebook ads course. You can put $1 in, make $2. It's easy. It's effortless. Anyone can do it. Listen, this stuff is challenging. And whether it is investing or whether it's starting a business, it's supposed to be hard. Otherwise, everybody would do it. And if you have a dream of, I'm gonna put money in once and it will print money and I have to do no work, then you're misleading yourself. That's a get-rich-quick scheme. Everything I've talked about today is about doing the work. You can't just go in and ask for 20K. You can't just build an asset and then it prints money forever. You still need to maintain it, okay? So we did the Facebook ad thing, and what we discovered was most people say, I put $1 in, I made $2. But they fail to track the invisible costs, and they fail to track it all the way back to profit. And it's really hard to do this. The math is complicated. You have cohorts, you have all kinds of refund rates, and the technology is very challenging. We got good at it. Well, we got good at the technology part. Facebook ad part, not so much. It just didn't work for our business at the time. So we pulled the plug and we shared our numbers. I had another example of a multi-million-dollar program that we created, and we kind of mismanaged it. It never got enough resources. It had a community component, and it was amazing and magical until it wasn't. And it was like when you become the last person at the party, and you don't want to be that. And we eventually realized this wasn't right. The model we had chosen years ago was fatally flawed. It was still making money, but we pulled it off the market. And some people were understandably angry, but it was the right decision. And I wanted to write that up and share it with people. So those are mistakes that any entrepreneur will make, small and large mistakes along the way. I just learned you got to live to fight another day, and make sure you're keeping your eye on customers who love you, who want to join your programs or products or services. Those are the people who are going to be with you for the long term.